Thanks for joining us with another episode of the Leverage Your Podcast show. I'm your host, Lindsay Phillips. If you're new or you've been listening for a while, I appreciate you spending time with us. And if you are guesting on podcasts and you want to get more leads and clients, part of that puzzle, right, is having a lead magnet and, of course, borrowing other people's audience. So we're talking with Bryan Harris today with Growth Tools, and he is all about borrowing other people's audiences, but in a different way and to amplify it. So I'm excited to dive into this conversation. Thanks for joining, Bryan.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to talking.
Awesome. So let's talk about borrowing other people's audiences. And I like that you use the acronym BOPA. Not everyone knows that acronym, but of course, guesting is borrowing other people's platforms, audiences. But you think of it a little bit more differently. So I would love to hear your perspective.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's two different ways to get people to know you exist. And if people don't know you exist, they can't hire you or buy your stuff. So,
Mhm.
step one, know you exist. Step two, get them to buy things. And way number one is content marketing, which is primarily built upon the premise that we must build an audience in order to get people to hire us. And that's not wrong. It also gets harder every year and is already extremely difficult. Because the amount of content and the quality of content has just gone up exponentially in the 12 years that I've been online doing marketing. And you have to become a professional publisher to do that really, really well at scale. The other route is not to go build it yourself, but to simply borrow the audiences of other people that already have them. Guesting is a great way to do that. There's some pitfalls with it, which I'm sure if anybody has done it, they've already experienced. But maybe a good analog for this is Dr. Phil. So Oprah was like the Joe Rogan of the 90s. She has the biggest interview show on the planet. Um, but her number one demographic were married women with children. Tens of millions of them every week watched her. But Oprah was not married and didn't have kids.
Right.
So like she can't speak to the two biggest problems that exist in her number one demographic's lives because she's not those things. She doesn't know about them. So she went out and found a local marriage and family therapist named Phil McGraw, who didn't have an audience, didn't have a website, didn't have a list, didn't have a podcast, didn't have anything. He had like 50 clients, but he was married with kids. And all day, every day, he coached people that were married with kids and had problems. So he was legitimately like experienced in that area. So Oprah brings Dr. Phil on, not because she needed his audience, not because she
Right.
needed audience growth, not because he could give it, not because he paid her, affiliate feed her, any of that stuff. She just needed his expertise. As a result of going on Oprah show every week for several years, Dr. Phil now has some of the best-selling books in human history on
Oh,
those two
100%.
topics, and one of the longest-running shows in daytime TV history. And he didn't do any of it. Like none of that was him.
Yeah.
All of it was Oprah. Dr. Phil could have produced the same TV show and all that stuff, and it would not be what it is today without Oprah giving him his audience. So, um, a decision we made early on was we're not anti-content marketing, publish content. People like it. That's fine. But we're not going to use it as our acquisition system. We're
Mm.
not going to use it as the way people are going to learn that we exist and hire us. We're simply going to go to other people's audiences that already have them and elegantly and simply let those people that want to listen to this podcast hear me, come to our website, growthtools.com, and learn more about us and hire us. Like we just have a tool we launched called List Match that helps people find folks that want to do list swaps or do guesting or do webinars that have already raised their hand. They can get it for free at growthsouls.com/list match and do that. And some people will hear this and do that. And that's awesome. Let's do that. So fundamentally, um, trying to overtly grow your audience is one of the worst ways to do it. Fundamentally, take the best tools you have
Right.
and simply take them to other people's audiences that need that skill set, just like Dr. Phil did, and let your audience grow that way. What we have found is it's the easiest way to get clients to actually
Yeah.
get money, which you need to survive as a business. And it's the easiest way to grow your audience at the same time without playing any of the content game. Like you can do that if you want, but it doesn't have to be the way that you eat because
Right.
that is a great way to starve. So that's fundamentally what we discovered. We've gone down both tracks,
Yeah.
like a really long ways, and just doing BOPA, borrowing the people's audiences, is just way simpler and way harder to screw up.
It's funny how we all think that it as an entrepreneur, it has to be an uphill battle every
Mm,
step of the
yeah.
way. And
Yeah.
you have to do all of the things and the big fun. Like, I feel like, especially in the past year, that people are looking to simplify, less stress. So I love the idea behind this model. But I also know people are like, "Oh, I can't do that. I don't have a list."
Yeah.
You need to have a list to be a speaker on things or do a or pod swap, lead swap, all the things. And so I feel like people just kind of stick to themselves and then are stuck in that trap.
Yeah.
So you say that the list size doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, go back to the Dr. Phil example,
Yeah,
or
true.
my exact Dr. Phil didn't have a list, and Oprah didn't need his list. If even if he had one, she was good. Think about any Joe Rogan guest, like he's Oprah now, basically, biggest interview show on the
Yeah.
planet. Like those guests don't bring him viewers. He's like
Right.
he has enough viewers. He's good. My first time finding this, I was about a year in, and I'd been trying every internet marketing thing I could get my hands on. Every week I would try a new experiment. And like I got some traction, but after a year I had 100 subscribers. So like not much traction. And I like accidentally fell into this. So I was in this little Facebook group. I bought a course or something early on. And every week I would just post in there. And there's like 50 people in this group. So it's not some big exorbitant group, but I would post like different things I was experimenting with that were working, or just every week I would try something. So whether it worked or not, here's what I did. Here's how it worked. Here's the results. About a year in, I'd sold $600 of my little course. I got 100 subscribers. So almost nothing had happened. But I posted like, hey, my list just hit 100 subscribers. And here's like 2 or 3 things I did to move the needle on that. Well, the owner of the Facebook group, who had an email list of 50,000 people, reached out to me. I was like, hey, Bryan, I saw you just passed 100 subscribers. I would love if you would make a resource to teach my list how you did that. Um, so I'm not great at math, but I'm just like, all right, he has a list of 50,000, I have a list of 100.
Yeah.
He needs content for his list, really is what he needed. He didn't need my list. They were mostly like relatives
Mm,
anyway. He didn't need my money. I didn't have any to give him, but he needed fresh, unique content.
right.
And I had just achieved a simple result, but one that he had been a decade past. So he couldn't even speak to how to start a list now. Um, so I made a little resource for him. He published it. Overnight, I got 1,000 subscribers.
Dang.
And not because anything I did. Like
Yeah.
the guy who did it, his name was Noah. Noah had done all the work. He had spent
Yeah.
a decade building up trust and a bunch of eyeballs that paid attention to him every week. I simply like gave him a thing. I took the best thing I'd ever made and gave it away. And that's like the fundamental of borrowing other people's audiences. Like you don't have to make new stuff every week. Like we have one lead magnet. It's called
Right.
list match. Growthstools.com/list match. Go find, you could find 2 people a day for free that want to swap audiences with you or just allow you to publish content on their platform because they need content. It's free. That's our lead magnet. My only job in marketing is try to give that away to as many people as possible.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the entire game. Versus with the build your audience content marketing approach, it's new, fresh, unique stuff every week or every day. And that is really, really hard. But the cool thing is now, the upside to that being so popular is there's hundreds of thousands of audiences that need fresh and unique content every day.
Yeah.
So, and they can't publish it because that's an impossible standard.
Yeah.
But if you give them the best thing you ever made, like the best thing I've ever made is list match. So like, how do we, our game in 2026, how can we give it away to as many people as possible? That's it. If we do that, we win.
Yeah.
And enough
Yeah.
people know
Right.
we exist and people will hire us because 1% of people that download our stuff hire us. That's it. So it's like, if we want 100 customers, give away 10,000
1%.
copies. Want
Yeah.
1,000 customers, give away 100,000 copies or whatever the math is in 1%.
Yeah.
So that game is a fun game and it's very simple versus content marketing that is extremely complicated. You have to be a great copywriter, a great strategizer. You have to be great at whatever platform you're publishing on, usually too many. It's just really
Or
hard.
Facebook ads to try to get the leads and like how much
Totally.
does
Or
that cost?
SEO or pick your channel, like whatever your
Yeah.
channel is, you must become a world class expert. And those are all harder than who needs content, lots of hands, and what's the best thing ever made? Do you want to just take it and give it away to your people? Yes, is the answer to both of those questions. It's just it's a simple game. So I like simple games that are not
Yes.
require tons of expertise.
100% on simple. So I have a couple questions for you.
Yep.
One is, do people typically ask for affiliate links
Hmm.
so that then on the back end,
Yeah.
the results get tracked? You know, if people end up buying the course or whatever, they get paid. Like,
Yeah.
is that part of the process, would you say?
Typically, they don't.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
surprised.
It's interesting. It's a little counterintuitive. Most people that you'll partner with, that we partner with, are content marketing people. They're not affiliate marketers. So they
Right.
don't think like an affiliate marketer. In fact, affiliate marketers are harder to work with. Um, they're way more mercenaries than missionaries, and their audiences aren't
Yeah.
as good because they are mercenaries. When you get
Right.
a true mission, like you can get a list, it's really much of this is not what I would have expected. Meaning, we could take a list of 300,000 people, like we land a partner with a list of 300,000. They promote our resource, and we could get 300 opt-ins. We could take a list of 5,000 that's a true missionary and all in, and get 2,000 opt-ins.
Hmm.
Like that's not uncommon. So
Yeah.
list size, all that stuff is like almost like just and we've done this for 12 years. We've done thousands of partnerships, like
Yeah.
truly thousands that we track numbers and everything. My guess rate on which one will move the needle is just all over the map. Like
Oh, yeah.
the casino would own my house if I bet money on which one to move the needle. Will it be the list of a million, a list of 5,000, a list of five? We had a guy a couple of weeks ago, a list of 2,000 that sent us 10 clients, and our
Nice.
average order value is over $10,000 with a list of 2,000.
Yeah.
We've had lists of 500,000 that didn't produce that. So
Right.
all that to say,
Yeah.
affiliate
Okay.
not needed. Now we look for it. If we just do a swap or it's one sided, meaning we just give them content, they need content promoted, or if we promote their thing and they promote ours, those are the two major variations we do. If it goes well, I want them to be an affiliate because I want them to keep promoting over and over and over
Right.
again. Like our number one partner, we found via a resource swap. We shared a resource, he shared a resource. His went fantastic. We're like, hey, what if we just pay you, and every person you send us, we pay you $1,000 to $2,000. We send him a $15,000 check every month.
Hmm.
That's my favorite $15,000 to send because it's easy.
It's
It's just
easy.
clients on repeat, and we
Yeah.
basically do
Without doing
nothing.
all the work and paying
It's
for Facebook ads.
fantastic. So when a content swap partnership turns into affiliate, like awesome. But we overtly don't go after affiliate partners
Mhm.
directly because those audiences are way harder. They're way more mercenaries. They're people that aren't bought into like there's something unique about people that have built their audience, like truly have done the content marketing
Yeah.
thing, have a loyal audience. Those people are fantastic because the trust, like think about the
The
Oprah thing
trust,
or the Joe
100%.
Rogan thing. Like they both have made, like Jocko Willink is really popular now. He would not exist without Tim Ferriss. He got to start by going on Tim Ferriss one time. That whole universe of Jocko exists because of one Tim Ferriss interview.
Yeah.
Um,
Crazy.
Dr. Oz, who I think is like in the cabinet or something. He's some political thing now.
Hmm.
He wouldn't exist. Rachel
Yeah.
Ray wouldn't exist. Dr. Phil wouldn't
Yeah.
exist. And I feel like
Right.
there's a
So
couple more.
many.
All came from Oprah one time.
Yeah.
Oh, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad
Yep.
Poor Dad. He exists from one. He even overtly publicly attributes Oprah to 100% of Rich Dad Poor Dad's success. One appearance on Oprah. So the point of this isn't you have to be on the biggest platform.
Right.
I'm not telling the opposite. You can be on a platform of 300 or 2,000 or 800. Live in that bread and butter of these small audiences. They perform fantastically well because
Yeah.
their audiences are loyal. And most of them actually feel weird about the affiliate thing because they feel like, and they do, like it's actually
Like
hard to
it
get.
makes it more transactional
I guess
versus
that's
serving
surprising to
their
me. I would
audience.
think like our conversion rate of a good swap to affiliate rate is really low. And we overtly will like, hey, this worked well. How about you put it in your welcome sequence or we do a regular partnership or a webinar or
Yeah.
something? And they're like, yeah, it feels weird. I don't know. But yeah, because they're way more just missionaries. Like
Yeah.
truly they're in it for the love of the game. They want a business out of it, but their love of
Yeah.
the game factor is way higher than the affiliate world. So
Fair
anyway,
enough.
that's a long answer to the question, but yeah.
Now, what helps make it more successful than others? Like, even I'm thinking like how you
Yeah.
craft that email that they send out. Um, Obviously, there has to be some sort of audience match,
Mhm.
niching for that to work. And
Yeah.
then some opt-ins just naturally work better than others. Like, what strategies do you
Yeah.
use to make sure that it's all optimized?
Two things. I'm writing them down so I don't forget. One of them is they're a good partner. And the criteria for that is way lower than you would expect or lower than I would expect. The good partner criteria is one, they have an audience. Two, they send them content. If they don't have those two things, you're
Yeah.
just going to spend an exorbitant amount of effort trying to get them to do anything. Like a lot of we work with people across a lot of industries. When you get to the more professional industries, they always want to go to like the trade, like the conferences and trade shows or trade associations of different sorts. And those people have audiences, but they don't like their content sending is like all over the map of what they do.
Yeah.
So you can bark up the wrong trees for a really long time and just waste a bunch of time. But first two criteria, they have an audience, they
Yep.
send them content. If so, third criteria is now, yeah, third criteria is they might have one client on their entire list who would be good for you. That's it. So you don't need more than that.
Okay.
They don't have to specialize in this solving the same problem as you. They don't have to specialize in working with the exact same kind of person as you. They don't have to specialize in the same method as you. But they do need at least one client, one person on their list who might be a client of yours.
Yeah. Fair.
That's a really easy way. Like you can imagine, we work with probably about 30% of our client base are people that are in some version of chronic pain or trauma healing stuff,
Oh,
like some
yeah.
version of that world. I don't know why, but they found their way to us. It's a good chunk of our client base. Most of them would not think that growth tools would be a good partner for them. But like, well, y'all teach marketing, I teach trauma healing or autoimmune, whatever, nervous system regulation, something
Hmm.
in that world of things. That would seem to be not a great fit. But run those three criteria. Think about our audience. We have about 100, 150,000 people on our list or so. We help coaches get clients. That's what we do, and we
Yeah.
use a particular method called BOPA to do it. Like we're really good at that. We don't touch trauma healing. We don't do anything about mindset stuff or any of that stuff at all. So it's like if they were searching for a good partner, they would not naturally look at growth tools and say they'd be a great partner. But think about it a minute. We have 150,000 humans on our list who are entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs or maybe advanced entrepreneurs who are actively running businesses. Might it be that one of those 150,000 people have unresolved trauma in their life or some autoimmune disorder
Oh,
that is
totally.
actually the blocker keeping them back in their business?
Right.
I would actually say probably half of them.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you have 200 clients on our list.
Yeah.
It's not obvious. Here's one more example just to kind of prompt people's imagination because this is like the partner match thing is like can be a block for people that like they try to
Yes.
get way niche and it's like you can be way less niche than you ever imagined. So
Okay.
we have two clients. One of them's name is Chad. Well, first guy's name is Ryan. He coaches people who are have ADHD, help them be productive. The other guy's name is Chad. He's a used to be for years a book agent at Baker Publishing. He's published many popular books. He's now left Baker and now runs a platform where he helps people finish their book and get a book deal. Okay, so ADHD
Mm-hmm.
productivity stuff and book publishing. If you were to look at most people look at that and like they're not a match to partner together. But think
Right.
about it a minute. Ryan looked at Chad's audience. He met him through as a mutual client of ours. It was like, I bet one of the top problems that these authors have is just like staying focused and finishing
Oh,
their book. And if
100%.
you can't finish the book, you can't get a book deal. So like, and it so happens to be I'm really good at productivity because I work with ADHD people.
Right.
So he goes to Ryan and is like, hey man, what if next week you have he had I think Ryan's newsletter was around 2,000 people. It's like, what if next week I just give you the number one resource I use in my coaching program to help people
Yeah.
with productivity? And my bet is your authors struggle with productivity and writer's block, all that crap. And what if I could help them get unblocked? And next week you don't have to write a new newsletter. Instead, you just give away the best thing I ever made and give that away to your newsletter. And Ryan's like, yeah, sounds great. So he does it. Or Chad says yes and does it, the book agent
Yep.
guy. And Ryan picked up 416 subscribers and 10 new clients.
Whoa.
So what does that say? That says a couple things. One, Ryan's job was really easy on client acquisition that week. And two, Chad's audience was dying for something that wasn't just about writing
Right.
books, but solved another part of the problem, which is productivity. But back to the Oprah and Dr. Phil example,
Yeah.
Oprah did not have expertise on marriage and parenting. Chad did not have expertise on productivity and time management, but Ryan did.
Yeah.
So there's all these aspects of our problem that we solve as audience owners and business owners that we aren't equipped for. We don't even see them half the time. We just see our
Yeah.
one little angle of
So
marketing
true.
strategy and offer, refinement, which is what we do. But there's a million other problems that exist that keep people from growing their business. So if a lawyer pitched us on how to write a good contract, I would love to promote that. If a mindset coach showed us, told our audience how to be more motivated so you actually get more stuff done. I would love that. Productivity, because all of those are problems that I'm not
Yeah,
equipped
that we
for,
all,
but
yeah.
our audience needs like right now. So the criteria is, do they have an audience? Do they send them content? Might there be one person on their entire list who might need you? If so, good partner. That's the
Yeah.
criteria.
Sweet. Now, what makes a good lead magnet then?
Yeah, that's good. So people think a lead magnet's job is to like get a result for somebody or
Hmm.
provide value, whatever that even is. I'm not sure what that means in real life, um, but the real job of the lead magnet, the real job of everything before the sell, is to show that prospect, the
Hmm.
person who has the pain that you solve and who is leaning in a little bit towards you. We call that person a prospect, somebody actively
Yeah.
in discovery of could you be a good fit? Is to show them two things. One, that you have a different way of solving that problem that will work for them. And two, that you're a trustworthy guide to help them.
Yeah.
Everything pre sale is for those two reasons. It's not to help them take action, it's not to help them solve the problem. In fact, it's the opposite of that. If somebody starts down a path to solve a complicated problem without being fully convicted and fully bought into that problem, I would propose you might even actually be hurting them because they're going to get to the hard part and quit because they're not fully
Right.
convicted. They're not all in. Um, I'll make it religious just for a minute. So Jesus's table stakes, like it's fairly radical idea, but it's genius if you just sit and think about it a minute. In this content marketing world, we've done the opposite. But Jesus said, most radical, most viral idea in human history, most effective idea in human history, like quantifiably. His starting point was turn and follow me. That's it. Don't get your life in order. Don't start attending church. It was not about any of that stuff. He's like, follow me. Turn, like in Bible words, it says repent. But all that means is you were on path A to try to solve all these problems in your life. Stop doing that and go to
Hmm.
path B, which is just follow me and we'll fix it together as we go. That was his thing. Like, and then as you follow him, he'll teach you things and show you
Right.
better ways to think about things and renew your mind and change all that stuff. All that'll come as we go. But step one was get off that path and get on this path. If
Right.
you apply that to a marketing for-profit business, or you can apply it all over the place, it's a genius radical concept. The bar to start is really low, but it
Yeah.
puts all of our marketing in set. Well, it's low in a way, but radically high in other ways. But it puts the point of marketing in sales. The whole point of the whole thing is to turn from whatever way you're like in our business, whatever way you're trying to acquire clients right now that isn't working for you. If it's working for you, keep doing what you're doing. Like I'm not going to help you because you're good. But if you're having a problem getting clients and you're trying content marketing, you're trying ads, or you're trying SEO, trying whatever you're trying, and it's just like beating your head against the wall over and over and over again, you're a prospect for growth tools. So what I'm going to say to you is like, let me give you my good news presentation, my gospel presentation. It's like, hey, it's called just borrowing other people's audience. You don't have to make one, just borrow them.
Yeah.
As a result, you'll have an audience. It puts all of my client, pre customer effort. Let me just show you a different way.
Right.
And if you are fully convicted that you should go down that way, you should hire us because we're really freaking good at that.
Mm.
If you aren't, stay on the path you're on until you find a better way. So, all that to say, what's a good lead magnet? It's one that just shows them the way, however
Okay.
you want to
That
do
makes
that.
sense.
So, for our clients, what we teach them to do is a really easy first step for this is make a 3-step guide. 3-step guide to whatever result you help people get. 3-step guide to getting high ticket clients. That's one of our top lead magnets. List match, growthtools.com/list match. It's a great way just to find partners. So if you're like loving this BOPA idea, like you should go get list match. It's free because it's just going to help you find people like tomorrow, like literally at 3 o'clock, 30 minutes from this recording, the same day you're listening to this recording, if it's a weekday, every day we do speed matching. You show up, it's like speed dating. You're going to find 3 people that want to partner with you like really quickly. So that the goal of that though isn't really for you to partner. Like that's cool if you do, but I want you to see BOPA. I want you to be convicted of the path of BOPA because if you become convicted, you'll turn from whatever you're doing now, you'll follow that, and now we
Right.
can make some progress.
Mm.
Because it's going to get hard. And if you're only like half committed, if you're like, maybe I'll date it a little bit, it's like, it ain't going to work. Nothing will work in that
No.
mind. So the goal of lead magnet is to build conviction of the path. So whatever you need to do that, a simple way to start is a 3-step guide to the path and just show them the steps. Here's how it works. That old
Yeah.
way you've been trying it, that's fine. If it's not working for you, here's a totally different path you could follow that'll work for you. It's what Jesus did. It's why his idea was the most viral idea of all time, the best-selling book of all time, the most transformative idea of all time, quantifiably those
True enough.
things. And that was that approach. So that's what we do, and it works well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is a unique perspective
Mm.
that I've never seen about lead magnets, but it sure as hell lessens the complication
It really does.
of,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
asked a while ago what made a good partnership. There were two things: a good partner. The other thing is intentionality.
Mm,
So this is the number one problem with guesting on podcasts that I see and I've experienced personally. It's really easy just to talk for an hour. But talking for an hour on someone else's platform does not produce leads or clients, unfortunately. Now, if the platform is absurdly big, it will. So, truly, if you're on Oprah, it's really hard to screw that up. But everything that's not Oprah, like if you have a podcast, if you go and guest on podcast and the average size of the audience is 1,000, you could guest 3 days a week, 4 weeks out of the month, and not land a client from that because it's really easy to not be intentional with podcast guesting. Um,
yes.
it's really intentional, really easy. So a good partner, which we've laid down the criteria for, but you have to be intentional. Um, so we actually used to teach podcast guesting as our first BOPA channel, but we stopped because it's so easy to screw up. It's so easy to think
Yeah.
you're doing things that move the needle and not. Because to make podcast guesting work, like this is just what you have to do. You
Yeah.
better have a clear call to action in the first 5 minutes. You better have a clear call to action in the last 5 minutes, and you better sprinkle them in throughout. If you don't, you will just waste dozens of hours of time thinking you're having good conversations and moving the needle, and they just won't.
I
So you
know.
have to be intentional with it. What we start with now, because it's just harder to screw up, is a resource swap.
Yeah.
When someone with a list, even a tiny list, say 500 people, emails out to their loyal audience of 500 people, hey, this guy Bryan, or this lady Lindsay, or this lady Susie is awesome at helping you get clients with this untraditional method. Click here to download his 3-step guide to do it. They click it and they go to a
Yeah,
page.
exactly.
And on that page, it says, hey, enter your email to get the guide. And the next page says, hey, the guide will be in your inbox in 5 minutes. But while you're here, I'd love to give you a free bonus gift of a one-on-one conversation with me where I can walk you through doing this for you. And at the end of the conversation, if you liked it, I'll tell you about coaching you for the next year. That's it.
Yeah.
The reason
Easy
that
peasy.
works so well is it's extremely intentional and hard to mess up. But a podcast guesting, I'm not anti. I love doing it. We're doing it here.
Yeah.
But man, if you aren't like on your game,
I
and some
know.
podcast interviewers are hard to do that with. Some don't want you to do that at all. So like,
That's what I teach.
it
You're
can be
talking my
difficult.
language.
Yeah.
Guests need to be strategic and
Yes. Yep. Yep.
have
So
structured
intentionality and a good
conversations.
partner. Those are the two things. If
Yeah.
you do that, like you're going to win with it.
Yeah, that's perfect. And I also notice, I was watching one of your webinars, and I feel like this is a step that a lot of entrepreneurs miss is that they're so focused on lead gen, they get the leads
Mhm.
and they give the resource on the thank you page, and then, they're just unengaged. It's like
Yeah.
that step to be able to convert the the new prospect
Mhm.
to a lead. So if you can talk to that about that a little bit.
Yeah, like first, just design an intentional process. So what do you want them to do? For us, what we found the simplest thing is as soon as you give the free thing away, immediately put a like we primarily work with people who sell high ticket coaching.
Mhm.
So our next step is I want to talk to you. Coaching's relational. We're not going to work with you if we don't talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't know who I'm coaching. I don't know if we're a good fit. You don't know if we're a good fit. So the first step when you're selling high ticket things, especially coaching, is to talk to the person. Um, so yeah, like have an opt-in page, and the next thing be let's jump on a call and talk. Now, the way to frame
Agreed.
that up properly, where somebody's intrigued by that, and you aren't just saying, "Hey, let's have a sales call." Like that's just not going to work. Nobody's going to schedule that.
Exactly.
You want to frame it up well. So, I tell you what. Here's what I'll do at growthtools.com/Phillips. Your last name. I'll just put some examples of this so they can actually see it. I'll
Oh,
have an
cool.
opt-in, and on the next page, we'll have a book a call page. So you can actually see this in action, and a few resources there that'll help people prime it. And actually, I'll give you a lead magnet template, and even our high ticket offer sales call like outline for people. So if you want to see how that actually works,
Awesome.
we'll do that. So we'll just give that to you. So you can go through the process and see it in action.
Yeah.
But the strategic approach is opt-in page for the thing, and on the very next page, present it to them in an intriguing way what you want them to do. So for us, that would be, hey, go to growthtools.com/Phillips. On that page, you'll get a list match, a free list match account. So you can find other people. You'll get a high ticket offer template, and you'll have a high ticket sales script. So anybody that wants that, literally go there. That'll be set up for you. The next page will be what we want. like the next step that will actually help you, which is a
Yeah.
conversation. Now, what that conversation will be and the way we'll frame it on that page is, hey, if you those resources will be in your inbox in 5 minutes. But while you're here, if you want to talk to me or a person on my team to put together a BOPA plan for you, meaning let's find partners together. Like I'll find a few people that are in our database for you. Let's actually craft your high ticket offer so it's good and doesn't suck. Like let's jump on a call and talk. That's free. At the end of the call, if you like us and we like
Yeah.
you, then we'll tell you about coaching. But if not, totally fine. That's all you have to say on that page, and people will book sales calls.
Hmm.
10% is the number. 10% of the opt ins will book calls with you if that page is
Perfect.
remotely designed, like I've just said. Yep.
Yeah. I love that. And I think, again, a lot of entrepreneurs miss that piece of getting people on the phone. Most people,
Mm-hmm.
like, as soon as you get them on the phone and have conversations, you can, share the value and convert them. But yeah, getting them from prospect to on the phone, that's like the missing piece that a lot of people just
And
skip.
it's not complicated, but you
No.
do have to be intentional.
Yeah.
And if you're intentional to work, like our math is, and this will be the case with pretty much any source, whether it's podcast guests, webinars, or resource swaps, or any other variations of this as well. Um, about 50% of the people that land on your page
Hmm.
will opt in. A little variability, but that's a good benchmark number. And 10% of the people that opt in will schedule calls. 10% of those people will hire you.
Yeah.
So if you want, like our baseline math for any new client is they get one new client a month and then one new client a week. So we just work that over the course of the year. And by the end of the year, people are getting one new client a month and then one new client a week. To do that, you need 1,000 downloads. That's it. 1,000 opt ins to your lead magnet will
That's
lead to
totally
100
doable.
calls,
Yeah.
and 100 calls will lead to 10 clients. That's just the math of it. Now, there's
Yeah.
variability and we'll work with you on the thing, but like 1,000 downloads in a year of your lead magnet. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need. If you're borrowing other people's audiences, because when you borrow the lead versus have to get the lead from scratch via Facebook ad or
Hmm.
SEO, they're way colder over there. So you need 10 to 100 times that if using the cold
100%.
channel. But when Lindsay says, hey, Bryan knows what he talked about, you should check out BOPA, and you go to growthtools.com/Lindsay or growthtools.com/listmatch, there's just trust that exists with us.
It's already vetted.
I didn't have to build for a year
Yeah.
because you've already done it. So with that math, if you want to make six figures next year, 1,000 downloads, 100 calls, 10 clients at 10,000 each, and you have 100K. Want to make a million? It's just 10,000 downloads
Yeah.
equals 1,000 calls equals 100 clients at 10,000 each is 100 grand or a million. So that's just the math of it. And then the game is how could the fun thing about BOPA is the game becomes how could I give away 10,000 copies of my best thing I ever made? Like, great, let's go play that game.
Yeah.
That's not a hard game to play.
No, and talk about simplifying your whole sales process and marketing and
Mm,
yeah, makes it so much
yeah,
easier. I love
yeah,
it. Well,
cool.
clearly people already know where to go because
Mm,
you've shared the URLs in your list match and growthtools.com/Philip. So that was awesome. Thank you so much for giving that away. And I think the list match that you have is such a great idea. And because sometimes people are like, I don't know how to find those partners and
yeah.
who to swap with and what have you. So, yeah, I love what you're doing. I think it's super smart.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna say the list back out loud just for my own. I was writing it down so I didn't
You
forget.
betcha, baby.
And we got a sales script that we'll
Yep.
give away if you want to have high ticket calls. This is just what's worked for us over the years. Second is a high ticket offer template. So if you don't have a high ticket offer and you're intrigued about it or even want to raise your prices, I mean, just as an example, we've sold coaching over $200,000. Like, well, we've had singular clients pay us over 100 grand using this method and the stuff I'm going to give you: the sales script, the offer script. I'm also going to give you a lead magnet template. So the 3-step guide thing, I'll give you some
Hmm.
examples and a template for that we use for clients. And I'll give you a free account to list match where you can like find people that want to partner. So I'll put all
Sweet.
those things on growthtools.com/Philip. So just go there and get all those for free.
Love it. And that's PHILLIPS, just in case other
That's it.
people don't know how to spell my last name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've given a lot of people a new avenue to turn to for 2026 and just simplify their lead gen and ability to grow their business. So I appreciate all your insights.
Thank you, Lindsay. I appreciate you.
All right, folks, I appreciate you spending the time with us, and I hope these tips have really helped you. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks again on the Leverage Your Podcast. So take care.